I'm Andy Beck, the CEO and co-founder of PathAI.
And I'm Tom Bartley, VP of Business Development for Invest Northern Ireland. Andy, thank you for having us and MTLC here today. Really great to meet you and happy to be interviewing you as part of the Tech Top 50 Awards.
Thanks for coming and great to have you here.
All right, well, let's kick it off. Our first question today is, how is PathAI leveraging AI to make clinical research more efficient, accurate, and reproducible? And what impact does this have on accelerating new treatments to market?
Yeah, so I can provide a bit of history on PathAI and then tell us how we serve clinical research. So our name, PathAI, it stands for Artificial Intelligence for Pathology. And pathology is the area of science and medicine responsible for diagnosing disease and really understanding what changes from normal processes in tissue to cause disease. Pathology plays a really critical role in drug development. Particularly the area of drug development that we focus on is how pathologists analyze tissue to decide which patients should be enrolled in clinical trials. And clinical trials are the really important part of late-stage development of new therapies, where we assess and do experiments on humans to assess which therapies are both safe and effective for treating different diseases. Pathology is used, I'd say, in the majority of different therapeutic areas that are being tested by new therapies, including oncology, so new drugs to treat cancer, inflammatory bowel disease, new drugs to treat diseases like Crohn's disease and ulcerative colitis, as well as new therapies for liver diseases, including fatty liver disease and what's called MASH, which is metabolic altered steatohepatitis, so a big set of liver diseases. And for this, PathAI creates technology to make it more accurate and efficient, as well as to extract new types of data from pathology specimens across those three therapeutic areas. So by making these clinical trials, ensuring that they have the highest probability of enrolling the right patients, as well as providing our drug development partners with rich quantitative data sets, we can help them conduct studies, but also really learn more from each patient who's being enrolled in these studies.
That's great. Speaking for myself, I look forward to any new drug developments for ulcerative colitis, because I was diagnosed with that in 2017.
Oh, wow.
And actually I've been planning to run the London Marathon next year in support of Team Challenge, which is part of the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation.
Wow, I'm sure it's very inspiring to be working towards that cause as you train for the marathon.
Yeah. Speaking of inspiration, what inspired you to co-found PathAI?
A few things. I mean, I trained as a pathologist, so I kind of saw for many years both the challenges and the opportunities for the way pathology is done. It was really an important area to found the company in, because there just seemed, even back when we started back in 2016, to be this significant disconnect between the technologies that were available outside of pathology and were only getting stronger. One analogy that's always been motivating to me is how, with all of these, apps that we have on our phone, we have these very sophisticated machine learning technologies for identifying different faces among friends, or searching within, say, an app to find every single face from family members and friends, and then being able to share those images digitally, very trivially, versus the most important images for clinical decision making. We're still asking pathologists to manually look at, within a day, hundreds of different images just under a microscope, with no assistance of digitization or no assistance of what AI. Even in 2016, we were seeing this was able to be done. So it's kind of this area of knowing this was a really important problem, helping patients with diseases like ulcerative colitis and Crohn's disease, and many patients being evaluated for whether they have cancer or not, or patients with liver disease, that this really, really important area of society just wasn't getting the benefit of these powerful new technologies that were already being used in consumer-facing applications. So it just seemed like an area where we could really improve outcomes for patients, and also that a problem that really could be solved with technology that, although it wasn't quite available in 2016, was clearly going to be a part of the future. So looking for a problem that could be solved with technology and clearly wasn't yet today.
Yeah, it sounds like an area that was ripe for innovation.
Absolutely.
Our next question is, what does being recognized by MTLC in the CEO of the Year category and having Christina Jason recognized as Rising Star of the Year mean to you?
Well, one, it's just that we have a huge amount of gratitude that the work we're doing is being recognized. So it was great for us for that. We're super grateful for the recognition. And it's just great to get our name out there to make even more people aware of this problem of the importance of pathology, the potential for digital pathology, and then for AI to really help address important problems that the whole community is trying to solve, not just us, but really the greater Massachusetts community focused on important areas of drug development. So it was useful for us as a company, but also just to increase awareness of the area we're working on for the community.
Excellent. Well, speaking of Massachusetts, this dovetails right to the next question. And that is, how do you envision PathAI contributing to the growth of the biopharma and diagnostic sectors of Massachusetts?
I mean, Massachusetts is such a wonderful place for us to have as the home and the central location for our company, where we're founded and where we've grown. Because Massachusetts really does sit at this real nexus between biotech, large pharma, as well as diagnostics. So it's just a great community to be in, because I think we have such a density of talent and companies across all stages in this important area, and we really do work across these two areas, both drug development as well as the deployment of new diagnostic technologies to advance personalized medicine in the future.
Moving out of Massachusetts and looking at things in more of an international light, so as PathAI expands internationally, what are the key strategic or differentiating factors you consider when evaluating new markets? And how do those shape your go-to-market approach and long-term presence?
The most important thing for us for going to new markets is identifying markets that already have gone digital in pathology, or we think are right on the cusp of that. So I'd say that's one of the biggest things we think about when we're evaluating markets, is just the timing for when is the market going to be, I'd say either already or within the next 6 months, really scaling up the digitization of pathology in that market. And those are really the markets where the timing is the best for us to then begin really moving into them.
How do you see the UK fitting into PathAI's international strategy?
Yeah, the UK is a very important part of our international strategy. The UK was fairly forward-looking in going digital and also having top-down initiatives to implement digital pathology broadly. So we've both prepared ourselves for expansion to the UK through regulatory, making our platform both IVD as well as I believe it's UKCA cleared for use in the UK, as well as, of course, many global biopharmaceutical companies have an important presence in the UK. So the UK is a very important market for both drug development as well as for clinical care.
Yeah, and I think you'll find that in the UK there's also a very strong AI ecosystem that continues to grow, which no doubt would have positive impacts on the company.
Yeah, absolutely.
Our final question today is, what is your long-term vision for PathAI's role in shaping the global healthcare landscape through AI and digital pathology over the next decade?
Yeah, I mean, we just see this huge opportunity to use digitization as well as AI to improve the areas of both drug development and diagnostics, and to really enable a new way, sort of a virtuous cycle of learning from every patient sample, from patients being enrolled in clinical trials, but also from every patient being diagnosed in the real world, to really use digital and AI as this new technology to enable diagnostics to continue to improve year over year in a way that's just been impossible in the past, and to really increase the speed of learning and development, and to decrease iteration cycle times for learning from new patients, so that every new patient we can collect the data to assess what are the factors in patient samples that are leading to success and failures in treatments, and to really pay it forward, where those learnings will then help improve the diagnostics for patients in the future, so that patients are getting the right diagnosis and getting prescribed the therapy that's going to be most effective for their disease.
Is it safe to say that we are at the very tip of what is probably an enormous iceberg when it comes to deploying AI in medicine and biotech in general, and pathology specifically?
Yeah, we really are extremely early in this area. I mean, it really is something new, because, on the order of 90% or so of samples are not even yet being digitized. So we've gone from 0 to 10% very quickly over just these past few years. And I think it's widely believed that in the next 10 years, we're going to go from that kind of 10% to closer to 90 to 100%. So we really are at that acceleration phase of this kind of S-curve of adoption. And it's taken many years to get there, but the recent advances in digitization, cloud computing, and then most recently AI are really going to be accelerating that progress over the next 10 years.
What is the thing that excites you the most about what the next 10 years could bring?
Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely that I think we're really living through this time of going from analog and manual to sort of digital and AI. So I think that's what's most exciting, that I feel very fortunate that we're living through this period right now of real transformation.
Great. Thanks, Andy. Appreciate it.
Thank you.